I'm Neil Simon, the founder, owner of Investor Cubed. We are working with Mr. Tom Rossiter of RESAAS Services, the world's largest real estate software platform. Very exciting time for RESAAS, and we scheduled a webinar today for Tom to update everybody. A lot has transpired for RESAAS over the last 6 months, over the last several months, certainly since Investor Cubed has been involved, and we thought it would be prudent to update shareholders on several of the initiatives that Tom is working on. For the record, Investor Cubed is a shareholder. We bought stock. My cost is a bit higher, actually, about 26 cents. We support Tom, and I intend to buy more shares. So just like to be transparent there that we buy the shares both in my personal accounts and Investor Cube's account. But we do support Tom. We believe in the company, and I think at this price, it's certainly worthy of consideration for anybody who plays small cap, high risk stocks. So we're very excited. I've gotten to know Tom pretty well in the last several months. It's been a fun experience. The database, and I'm going to hand over to Tom because no one's really here to listen to me, but what intrigued me so much here was having 550,000 people dominating the US market, rolling out globally. That's a large database. That is valuable. The cost of acquisition for a customer is expensive. So how do we make money from this massive database, which grows daily? How do you make money from that? What Tom and I have been talking about, what Tom has focused on over the last several months, and will continue to focus on going forward, is there are so many ways to monetize this database. The idea, I think Tom has the right perspective, is to do that while maintaining a high level of integrity, quality of software, quality of the platform. But there are numerous ways this database can make money. And Tom, I think, has focused, certainly since I've been involved, on identifying multiple revenue streams. We don't like one-trick ponies. Nobody does. We don't want to be dependent on one given, revenue stream. So in this case, I find it very interesting that there's so many opportunities wrapped around what Tom has built, which is beyond impressive and continues to grow. So on that note, I'll hand it over to Tom, who's going to go through an updated presentation. We just finished this over the last few days. And I think the real focus is to have you get to know Tom a little bit, but also understand what the opportunity is, how big the opportunity is, and that there's many, many ways for Tom to create value for shareholders through multiple revenue streams. On that happy note, I just want to say, Tom, it's been a pleasure to get to know you. I'm proud to be a part of the RESAAS team, and I look forward to continuing to work with you over the long term, hopefully. But on that note, we'll hand it over to Tom Rossiter, CEO of RESAAS. We'll run through the presentation, as Jan mentioned. We'll go through a question and answer period. And please email or send us on chat your questions. We'll try and get to them all. If not, though, we will ensure that we do get you the answers to all your questions. Tom, over to you.
Thank you, Neil. Great intro. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I know it's 4 o'clock out east on a Thursday, so appreciate you making time to join and listen to the RESAAS story. A couple things. Thanks, Neil and Jan, for the intro. You both mentioned that people could send in questions by email. Neil, before you hide off the camera and go on mute, or Jan, could you just let people on the call know which email address they could send to with any questions?
Yeah, they have our email addresses. I'm sure everybody does. I mean, mine is nsimon@investor3 So NSIMON@investor3 So you send any questions, or you can just put them on the chat on the webinar here, the Zoom. Okay. So thank you, Tom.
Good, thanks. Okay, nice to see some familiar names in the participant list here and several new ones. So welcome to today's session. This is going to be a description and an update on the company RESAAS Services, Inc. My name's Tom Rossiter. I'm the CEO. And we've been very hard at work for a number of years, and certainly the last 3 months in particular, on a number of initiatives that are transformative for the company. So I've got a few slides I'm going to run through here. I believe this slide deck is going to be made available after this call. So no real need to take detailed notes. I think we'll follow up by email. But I'm just going to click through some of the slides here and just give you a story. So a few names here I don't recognize. You may be new to the story, so let me start at the top. I'm going to kind of time box this so that I'm respectful of everybody's time. And for those that like what they hear and want to learn more, then certainly reach out to Neil and the team at Investor Cubed, and we can arrange follow-up calls. Headline is, RESAAS is a technology company. We're listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture, and we've been focused on the real estate sector. The real estate sector is an area that is extremely fragmented and needs a lot of help. The approach that we've had has been to focus on the industry side. So in English, what that means is we're not a search portal or a marketplace like Realtor.ca or Zoocasa or Zillow in the US. That's not what we are. We're not a search portal. We are an industry platform. And by that, I mean that we are a technology platform available for licensed professionals in the real estate sector. We do it a bit differently. We open it up to any licensed agents with any firm, any brokerage. So to put this into an analogy that I think might suit people on this call, we're similar to a Bloomberg system. Okay, so when Bloomberg came out and any broker with any house could join and access that central data point, RESAAS is similar in that regard. We've been going for a few years and we've been focused on really doing one thing, which is forming trust within the real estate sector. And by doing that, we thought we would be exposed to a large amount of unique real estate data. And our thesis has come true. So headline today here is software company, real estate focused. We crossed a threshold towards the end of last year where now over 1 in 4 agents in America uses RESAAS. Okay, we've got over 500,000 agents registered already. There's more coming in in the droves at the moment, which I'll show you later. But this is a very active, rich platform designed for real estate professionals. It's really interesting because despite being a real estate platform, RESAAS actually becomes more busy and arguably more valuable when the real estate market is normal or not doing great. So when it's really busy and the real estate market's hot, agents are running around, they're doing deals, we're very busy then, but we see an increase in usage, an increase in all of our metrics, an increase in our data when the real estate market is normal or normalizing or declining. And I think the reason for that is just looking at the data and also common sense is agents need to work harder in those situations to generate business. We have a world of agents around the planet that are sharing business with each other. We're a great source of those kind of opportunities, and you can't find many of those elsewhere. There's a number of pillars to our business, which I'm going to cover a little bit later, but here's a headline. And again, I'll be sharing this through Investor Cubed after this for kind of further study. In working hard to attract agents and do right by the industry, we've managed to attract and now work with a number of the leading brands, companies, and brokerages within the real estate sector. The logos on the screen here show some of the clients and customers and partners that we work with. And typically what this has looked like, everybody, is our platform is open to real estate agents. They join, they use it, they come back again and again and again, and they start to really leverage the power of the platform. And again, I'll show it to you in a little bit. When a number of agents within a particular firm or brokerage start to use it together, that's usually when the brokerage or the franchise or the organization itself will then dive in and want to do something at a corporate level. Okay, so case in point is, let's take RE/MAX. When we first launched and agents would come in and they'd sign up and they'd be from all different brokerages. When there were about 4,000 or 5,000 RE/MAX agents all using it independently, we told RE/MAX they wanted to understand it more, get behind it, and then really control the narrative. So it's a bottom-up model where we attract the agents, we have them use the platform, they like it, so it's demonstrating value. And then that lets us go up the chain to these big firms. And what this represents is really a good cross-section of the industry in terms of the type of companies that are looking to leverage the footprint that they have, the big, large physical footprint that many of these organizations have. RESAAS accelerates that through technology. The revenue model is 4 main pillars to it, or 3 really. Let's break it down here. The model, like up until this point, the model has always been, let's get bums in seats. This is really a data play. And I've met with some people on this call that I know understand the value of unique real estate data. It's incredibly valuable to the real estate industry itself, but I would say more so to dependent industries that are on the fringes of real estate that need accurate real estate data for their own models, their own forecasts, their own industries. So this has always been about, let's develop trust within the industry, let's attract agents, get their bums in the seats, and if we do that, we'll earn their data. their listings, their referrals, the trends, the behaviors, all of the things that matter to us and matter to the industry. What's happened now is we can now demonstrate the value of the platform, and in doing so, justifiably ask for a subscription. So the first two bullet points here in terms of revenue model are very similar to something like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a business networking platform. I'm sure everyone's familiar with it. You can join for free. LinkedIn want you to join for free. They want your profile, they want your data, they want your contacts. And then some people choose to upgrade their subscription and pay a monthly fee to access additional services and benefit. Same with RESAAS. We have two paid tiers above the free one. Or the free and the medium and the large size subscription all deliver different types of value. But we're seeing now that top producing agents, certainly in busy markets and popular cities, are subscribing more and more to our paid plans. We have two. One is $50 a month, one is $100 a month on the residential side. And from what we're seeing so far, the majority of agents are picking the $100 a month plan over the $50 so far. So that's telling us that they're looking for the value in that particular plan. We've recently launched a commercial real estate version of RESAAS. I'm going to touch more on that later on. That's slightly different in that there is no free tier. It's pay to play. And the value that commercial real estate brokers can get from this means so much more to them because of the price point of their types of transactions and the commissions that they generate. That will be a pay to play model. And we're rolling it out in one city already. There's a second city coming online very shortly with plans to go national in the next few months. So more on that later. Two more revenue sources for us: transaction fees from a payment system that we have developed. This is the industry's first agent-to-agent, broker-to-broker real-time payment system. Believe it or not, there are still a lot of checks written by hand and FedExed around the US when it comes to paying referral fees. That's a whole conversation by itself. Long story short, we've solved that by creating the payment rails to move different types of real estate fees through us. We're starting with referral fees because we're big on referrals. I'll show you that later too. But there's an opportunity for RESAAS to charge a transaction fee on the payments that we move. Started doing that already. It's a great system and a game changer for the industry. And lastly, there's been a number of partnerships we've announced in recent weeks and several months that if you've been plotting the caliber of the releases, the type of company that we're working with and partnering with has been getting better and better and stronger and larger and larger. Some of those we partnered with to get industry acknowledgement and endorsement. More recently, we're partnering with companies that have the ability to either bring us agents, so to feed our pipeline of more bums in seats, more data and more subscription opportunities, or they're partners that we're working with on a revenue share basis, where when we can provide clients and agents to them, we earn money from a revenue share. I'll touch on that later too. Pretty powerful platform. We built it with Microsoft in their labs in Redmond. It's cloud-based, it's secure, it's scalable, it's multilingual. It's all the things that you would expect from a modern platform. I think this perhaps might be a good time for me to actually show it to you. I realize that likely no one on this call is a licensed real estate agent. So I'm just going to go ahead and show what RESAAS is, just maybe for a couple of minutes, so you can get a sense as to what this platform is all about, why agents seem to love it so much. Okay, I've shared my screen. I'm now showing the RESAAS platform. If that's not what you're seeing, shout. But guys, this is what it looks like. This is not for any of us. It's not for the public. It's not for clients. You have to be a verified licensed real estate agent to see it. If you're seeing it on the screen, you'll recognize that it looks a little bit like a Facebook. It looks a little bit like a LinkedIn. The design is on purpose. The average age of a real estate agent is approaching 60. And we wanted to design a product and a platform that was intuitive. So
Tom, I'm sorry, this is the live real site.
This is the live real site.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Neil. So yeah, this is a real platform. And this is what's great. This has been running for years. It's a real-time rich platform. I'm going to show you a few things. But this is what's happening right now. The view that I have, everyone, is a bit different to many agents because of the kind of demos and examples that I show. I'll show you why that is. But this is what it is. Simple, intuitive, clear, agents only. And what they're posting, what they're sharing are things like listings in Florida, in Mexico, in Texas. Lots of different types of content that we're seeing from all around North America and the world. They can do things like embed video and virtual tours. We've got agents from RE/MAX in Colorado and the ARIA network in New York City. And as we roll down just slowly, you'll see the type of things that agents seem to use RESAAS for. Lots of referrals. Agents love referral business. A great way to market listings on a global basis. And we're seeing too, agents now subscribing to our different paid for tiers. Ultimate is the premium tier, the best tier. It's $100 a month. But you'll see just how broad some of the content is here. This is a digest or a roll-up of content that is happening around the platform in different areas. And we're packaging it up and serving it to the agent so that it suits them. Okay, so everyone's feed is a little bit different. Everyone has access to different groups based on their real life memberships. This is a permission-based platform. And it just gives you some idea of the kind of activity that we're seeing on the platform. So more people registering and paying, agents adding pre-market listings. Okay, so these are listings that have probably just been signed with the seller, in this case, 11 hours ago. So let's say yesterday, hasn't yet had a photo shoot, hasn't yet gone on the market, hasn't yet been anywhere. But it's a way for Agent Bruce with RE/MAX in Bridgetown to share a listing early with industry peers. Okay, and when I talk about data points and the unique data that RESAAS has, these are listings that we see before they go on the market, before they go into something called an MLS, before they go into the websites, often for days and days and days. Okay, so here's another one. Pamela, an agent in Honolulu, listing a pre-market listing. It's $3 million in Lahaina. These are the kind of things that we see, okay, all the time. People responding to referrals, upgrading, paying. There's lots of activity here. Okay, I'm going to give you an example just real quick. And again, we'll get back to the slide deck and the business, but referrals are a thing. So here's an interesting one. So this is an agent, Diana. She's in Alhambra, California. She's posted a referral. And so here's what they look like. This is, guys, this is important. This is one of the main flywheels that gets agents coming back to RESAAS on a really frequent basis. This is an agent saying, I've got a client and I need another agent to service them in a different market. Okay, so Diana in Alhambra is saying she's got a client in LA who's moving to Bakersfield, California, and she wants to refer them out. So our platform notifies agents, in this case in Bakersfield, California, about all this information. Agents get that alert and they can respond. If they're on a free tier, so they're not paying, they can respond after 24 hours. If they're on a paid plan, they can respond immediately. And of course, agents on a free plan that want to respond and they can't have an upgrade path to say, pay now, then you can respond. So this is one of our primary upgrade paths from a free plan to a paid plan. And you can see that in this case, where is it? We've had 14 agents in Bakersfield have already responded to say, yep, I'd love to work with your client, consider me. Okay, and so still we've got about 4 hours to go before free agents, the ones that are not paying, can respond to this referral. Okay, so these are the kind of things that we see. These are the kind of opportunities that are delivered to agents from our platform that just don't happen anywhere else. Another example here is agent in Vancouver referring into Cabo. Another example here is an agent in Naples, Florida referring to Tampa. These are the kind of things that we see on the platform all the time. Okay, so lots of unique data, lots of referral opportunity, which agents obviously love because that's the best type of lead you can get. And as you can see, agents coming in and upgrading to those premium tiers to win these referrals, to rank more highly in our search and get other benefits too. I'm going to switch back to the slideshow here, keep this going. Okay, hopefully you can see the slide deck now saying no competition and massive growth. Again, if you can't see that, let me know. We've built a beachhead. No one else has built a platform for the industry like this. It's gone global. We've focused on America, but just the nature of real estate and how relational it is, it's ended up going overseas. We're in 161 countries, but again, primarily in the US and then Western Europe and increasingly Asia as well. The platform's won a number of awards. If you look up industry platform for real estate, there really is nothing else like what we've created. It's unique, it's helpful, it's brokerage agnostic, so we don't discriminate or alienate or lock down by brand. If you're a licensed agent, you can come in. And I think that's part of the richness of what we have too, is it's this industry-wide melting pot of the best agent sharing opportunities. Okay, so here's what we've done, here's what we're doing, and here's where we're going. We've accomplished a lot. We crossed the threshold last year of crossing that 500,000 agent count. That was one of our metrics to reach before we started to turn on some revenue generation and subscriptions and other initiatives too. Lots was accomplished last year with translations, with expansions, with testing. So this year, we're very focused and we've got our heads down. And I think as those that follow the story have seen with recent news releases, lots of things are aligning all at once. So just in the last kind of 4 months, we've crossed the 550,000 agents. There'll be more on that news soon. We've launched a commercial version of the platform. So this is for commercial brokers, not residential. If you know anyone in that industry, you'll know and understand why we're not commingling them. So we're keeping them very distinct. That represents a tremendous opportunity for the company. We've just got going with it. Feedback has been tremendous. And we're in quite advanced talks with a number of commercial real estate brokerages that are national or global in their stature. So more to come on that front there. Very exciting opportunity for the company. We continue with our plan to convert a number of free agents to a paid platform. That's gone well. We did testing the latter part of last year. And as you can see from the feed I just shared, there are agents upgrading at an increasing frequency. More and more partnerships are coming. You've seen in the announcements, there are more on the way too. This is a great opportunity for RESAAS because it provides two things. One, it provides revenue to the business through these partnerships and the referral fees that we get from these partners. And I'll give examples in a moment. It also allows RESAAS to provide agents with additional sources of income. So beyond a real estate transaction, how else can agents make money? We're providing an increasing array of ways for that to happen. And I can tell you, given the real estate market and what it's doing at the moment, that's extremely topic du jour and very helpful and welcomed by agents. As well, we're continuing to expand in markets outside North America. And really that's the plan now and ongoing into next year too. It's around commercial, it's around subscriptions and revenue, and it's around more and more partnerships. I'll send this around afterwards so you can read the bios of the smiling faces here in terms of the board and management. With one eye on the clock, I'm just keeping an eye on how we're doing for time, so there's good enough time for questions and answers at the end. Very clean cap structure, no debt on the balance sheet, about 82 million shares fully diluted. The advisory board that we formed that continues to grow tactically is made up of the thought leaders and authorities in the space. We have people from global real estate, from luxury real estate, from commercial real estate, from the association world of real estate too. They provide great insights and advice, obviously, but also introductions and opportunities for the business too. So more on that coming soon. And then perhaps now is a good time just to summarize and pause and take questions. Here's where we are, everyone. We've built what we believe is the dominant force in the real estate industry globally. We've focused on the US, and in doing so, tipped over that tipping point where now the majority of agents that are active use our platform. And that means that we get data before other people, and that data is what brings people back. So that cycle, that beautiful cycle that we strove to create, we've managed to deliver on. It's been built with a way to generate revenue from multiple sources. And our plan was always, let's get all of the heads in one place, let's build the trust, let's get the data, and there'll be multiple ways to monetize that. And we're starting to execute on some of those streams now. The partners is a big one. And that comes up a lot. I get lots of great inquiries and responses to the news release we put out. And you'll see that if you read between the lines where this is going, we've built a network. And we provide a way for the participants of our network to leverage the power of the relationships that we've formed. So case in point is we launched a partnership with the 5th biggest insurance company on the planet, Hub International. Launched it last year, providing a way for agents to generate additional income from referring their clients to a home insurance company. Very easy to do, not what they're supposed to do, not focused on home sales, but a great way for them to augment and supplement their income, and a great way for RESAAS to generate additional income as well. Lots more partners coming. We're expanding globally, as I've touched on already. It's interesting to see the trends around the world as we see it with real estate data. China is coming back online. You saw a release that we put out perhaps a month or two ago, announcing a partnership with Weibo. Weibo is bigger than Twitter. It's China's Twitter version. China is back online. All of the regulation and the lockdown is seemingly easing. And we're seeing in all the data points that we track that more and more traffic, more and more buyers are coming back into North America from China. So we're positioning the platform to augment that and support that. And in closing, the focus is on revenue growth. We've got a great model that allows for recurring revenue through subscriptions. We love recurring revenue. That's growing, as you saw on the feed earlier. And then we're supplementing that with some of these high caliber partnerships that we continue to execute and build so that we have the full spectrum beyond and around the real estate transaction covered. So with that, I will pause. And Neil, Jan, I'll perhaps hand it over to you for next steps and questions.
No, well, firstly, thank you, Tom. That was an excellent update, and gives us a pretty good grasp on what the opportunity is. Just to digress for one moment before we take questions, stock's been traded around 18-20 cents. It's pretty quiet right now, as most small caps are, but we think it's a great time to look at the stock. Typically, in these kind of markets, excuse me, when things are crappy, nobody's buying. We all know the story, right? It's a great time to look at these things. The stock's been as high as 45 cents or higher. We closed 18 cents today at 1 cent on 32,100 shares. I've been chipping away again at the stock, but I think, again, for people playing small cap, high risk, it's exceptional being proprietary. He's the only one out there, and I think the opportunity to see significant and scalable revenue growth over the next 1, 2, 3 years and going forward, I think is very, very real. I developed a very strong respect for Tom, so I would take a look at it. Stock's pretty thin, but chipping away at these levels is like a pretty good time if you're going to buy. This would be an ideal time, I think, to certainly look at it because we're pretty close to our lows. So on that note, Jan, I believe there are some questions that have come in.
Yeah, we got several questions in the email. So the first question for you, Tom, is you announced a press release recently with the National Association of Realtors. Can you explain the significance of that?
Yeah, I can. So I believe most people on this call are Canadian. So in Canada, there's a group called CREA, the Canadian Real Estate Association, governs all real estate across Canada. Every real estate agent belongs to it. The American sister organization is called the National Association of Realtors, or NAR as they're known. That's an organization, a trade union that represents 1.6 million real estate agents in America. That is an organization we've been trying to work with for a while. It is the biggest organization in real estate on the planet, and they need help. They have agents across the whole country that need to be able to leverage the power of the network they've joined. And for anyone that's joined an association ever in any industry, you'll know that sometimes the membership piece is often missing. We solve that. So we're delighted with this partnership. Thank you for whoever asked the question on this list here. It's significant for the company because it provides a couple things. One, there's no greater endorsement within this real estate industry than working with the National Association. And two, we now have access to 1.6 million real estate agents. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that there's 1.6 million new users tomorrow. What it means is that the National Association is messaging all of them 1.6 million members saying, guys, we endorse RESAAS. It's the place to go to earn new referral business. Click here and join. And they're so big that we're onboarding their agents in buckets. And we're about 2/3 of the way through doing all of that over the past 2 weeks. And reaction has been incredible. Now, I will say a good number of the 1.6 million we already had. But what it's enabling us to do is onboard a whole new bucket of agents. So net it out, 1.6, we had 500,000 at the time. So there's 1.1 million net new agents that we're now reaching that likely hadn't heard of RESAAS. Now they're joining in their droves. Some of the activity you saw was from new agents. And what's great is then they're coming in, they're new to the story, they're seeing the richness of the kind of thing I showed earlier. And they're upgrading to be able to access some of that data. They're upgrading and paying to be able to rank first in the search results for agents in their market. So it's a tremendous accomplishment for the business. They don't get much bigger. And lastly, aside from just providing us new agents, new data, and new subscription sales, it's also primed our sales pipeline and seemingly moved a lot of opportunities along, because now that endorsement from the largest player in organized real estate counts for a lot. And it's helping a number of companies that we've been in talks with really understand just how high class and pedigree our platform is. So very significant milestone for the company.
Thank you. Well, you recently also announced a partnership with Rocket Mortgages and Imogen. Can you tell us more about how you plan to get more partnerships, and what do these partnerships mean for the agents on your platform?
Certainly. Okay, this is an announcement-based question. So with Rocket Mortgage, I'm sure everyone's familiar with. So if you're a golf fan, you've probably seen a bunch of golf tournaments sponsored by Rocket. They are the largest mortgage provider in the US, and they're recently launched in Canada. We are now working with Rocket Mortgage, and so here's the play. So we provide a great way for agents to refer business to each other. That's become one of the factors that RESAAS is well known for. One of the ways that agents ask for a higher referral fee is by saying, is their client pre-qualified for a mortgage or not, or are they cashed up? And our data showed us that around 1/3 of the referrals going through our platform, the agents were saying, no, their client is not pre-qualified for a mortgage. We went looking for a mortgage partner that has a technology platform that allows for very quick pre-approvals. And Rocket is one of those. Huge company. I'm sure everyone knows them. They're publicly traded in the US. And so we've integrated with their platform. What it allows us to do now is allow agents to refer their clients through an online real-time mortgage application process with Rocket, where at the end of the day, RESAAS earns a extremely healthy referral fee from providing that lead. So it's great. We can split that with agents to further incentivize them pushing more clients through it. It's not limited to referrals. An agent can refer any of their clients anytime to get a quote for a better mortgage. They're calling it a mortgage health check. I think in current climate and macroeconomic conditions, it's proving quite popular. It's a new partnership. They're a great organization to work with. We love it because it's a great brand. It adds a lending pillar to our business. And most importantly, it provides a way to generate income for RESAAS that, again, we can then split and share with agents. One more note on that. The agents that we have that are referring clients out, the amount that they will earn from referring their clients varies based on their tier. So if they're on a free tier, they earn a certain percentage of what we get from Rocket. If they're on a paid plan, then they can make more too. So again, we're just stockpiling the value in the subscriptions to drive more and more agents to a paid plan. And these kind of partnerships are important. If you draw a diagram of real estate in the middle and then all of the tangential industries, so lending, insurance, home warranty, title, and there's many more, our goal, and we're well on the way to it, is to have major grade A players in each of those buckets so that we can support the agent in delivering value to their client. And there's ways for RESAAS to generate revenue from each of those partnerships.
Thank you. You also mentioned that you've moved towards commercial real estate. How is that plan going? Can you give us a little bit more details on that?
Yeah, I'd love to. This is our new pet project. So our team has been extremely busy. So quick 30-second backstory. During COVID, we found a number of maybe the 25 or 30 commercial brokers with a variety of brokerages in London, England, New York, and Chicago using RESAAS. And so we reached out and said, you know, sorry about the bedrooms and bathrooms and all of those residential things. It's not, you know, it's not for you, but welcome. And the response was this. The response was, there's nothing like RESAAS for commercial brokers. They are still in 2023 using email and WhatsApp channels to communicate about opportunities, listings, buyer needs, etc. And so when they saw what we built for the residential sector, they just started using it. So fast forward to today, we did a bunch of research. We met with a number of stakeholders, brokerages, regional, national, global, to understand the commercial real estate landscape. Turns out it's actually, I wouldn't say prehistoric, but they just work in a really inefficient manner. And when we showed them what we've created for the residential platform, the response was extremely consistently good. So make a long story short, the platform has been built to be plug and play. We replicated it. So, you know, almost no overhead to create a new version of RESAAS. We emptied it. We've got a dedicated platform now just for commercial brokers. Again, they've got to be licensed to come in. We're piloting it in Los Angeles, California at the moment. It's been live for about 3 weeks. Reaction's been great. We've learned a lot from that. But the response has been tremendous in that it's already being asked to go national quickly. Our plan is to do market by market by market, kind of like the Facebook story for those that have seen the movie, The Social Network. So be tactical about where we expand to next. We would still like to do that, but we're getting demand from real estate companies in the commercial sector to say, we don't want to depend on email anymore. Like, we need this platform nationally yesterday. So great opportunity for what we've created. If you think about it, this is a platform that allows for information to be shared away from the eyes of the public. And so much of commercial real estate doesn't go on the market. Okay, like the very best commercial real estate you never see. If a hotel is for sale, the Royal York is for sale, they're not going to put a for sale sign on the front because people would stop staying there. Those kind of opportunities are all transacted off market. And the way that's done today in commercial real estate is meeting in person, or it's on email lists, or it's on text group chats, right? So very inefficient, not industry specific. We've got a great solution. It's proven in residential. It's getting great early reaction on the commercial side in our pilot market. There's a second pilot market we'll be announcing very soon. But yeah, we're extremely excited about this. And just in closing on this part, the value this will bring commercial brokers, given there's nothing else like it, means that there will be no free option. It's pay to play. The pilot market's different, but it's pay to play. You've got to subscribe to be able to access it. And so we're really excited about this new division to our business.
Thank you. We have another question. It's a two-part question. So first, you currently have many free version users, but obviously you're hoping to transition them into paid users. Number one, what is the benefit for the agent to go from free to paid? And number two, what is your strategy for transitioning these free agents into paid? Are you targeting all of them at once? Is there a specific strategy you're deploying?
Okay. There's a number of benefits. There's, in fact, I won't list them all here, but the slide somewhere. So you can't really see it because it's blurry, but on the screen here, if this is what you should be seeing, is one of our pricing pages, which just shows all the benefits that the $99 plan has, which is called Ultimate, and then a few missing in the premium plan, and then a lot missing on the basic plan. All three options, all three plans provide great value to agents. There's just increased value as you start paying. The main two that our feedback shows us are the reasons that agents have been subscribing so far is there's two standouts. One, on the search side in the platform, if you're on a paid plan, if you're searching for an agent in a market, so you're searching for an agent in LA, if you're paying, you'll rank higher up the results than if you're not paying. Okay, so just like Google Ads, same model. Agents understand that, they like that, they want to be amongst the top 3 to be found in a certain market. So that's a great piece of value that agents get when they start paying. The other one, which outranks that, is the ability to be notified in real time for referrals and the ability to respond instantly when a referral comes into their market. So remember earlier I showed you could respond within a certain period of time if you were paying, and you have to wait, I think it was another 4 hours if you're free, for that example we showed. That is one of the most high performing upgrade paths, or loops that we call it, to get people from a free plan to a paid plan. Okay, so here's how it goes. You're an agent who's free, enjoying RESAAS without paying. You get an alert either on your phone if you have the app, via SMS if you wish, or by email. And it says, new referral in your market. It's this, 1.2 million looking for 3 beds, this many square feet, and you want to respond. There's a button that says you can respond, but you've got to be on a paid plan. Click here to upgrade. And we've got things like Apple Pay plugged in so they can tap and pay instantly. It's recurring revenue. So that's one of our best performing upgrade paths. And that is the main benefit that agents tell us that they're happy to subscribe for, because it only takes one deal and their subscription to RESAAS is paid for multiple times over for a very long time. So that's the what question I think you asked. The second one was around how. Because we're a tech platform, we've got the ability to do a lot of great things. One of those is be very specific with how we market and promote and push different things. We're doing a lot of testing. We've spent several years building up trust within this network, and what we didn't want to do is rush out and say, pay now, and miss the mark or get the messaging wrong and blow it. So we've been tactically testing it in different markets, in sellers markets, in buyers markets, in balance markets, different types of messaging, different type of pricing, different type of offers, free trials, no free trials, all of those different variables. We're able to do that because of the technology platform we've built. We want to make sure that when we roll this out time and time again, and to all these new agents coming in from things like this National Association of Realtors announcement, or the other one like the other week was Berkshire Hathaway, right? Like we've got 90,000 new Berkshire Hathaway agents coming in next week. We want to make sure that when they come in, the messaging that they see has been tested and thought through and optimized and tweaked to maximize the chance of them upgrading and then staying upgraded. So it's been market by market so far. We're increasing the dial as we go to open up to more and more markets. We're learning a lot. There are certainly patterns we're seeing around the type of value and messaging that we're using for different types of agents with different types of firms in different types of markets. So it's not just like a one size fits all. But to answer your question, whoever answered it or asked it rather, it's very much by design. We're taking it very tactically and thoughtfully, and we're happy with the conversion upgrade path that we're seeing so far. Jan, Neil?
Perfect. That's it for all the questions. Neil wanted to make some closing remarks.
Yeah, I just want to say again, thank you very much. Well, first, thank you everybody for joining today. Excuse me, being part of listening to the RESAAS story, meeting Mr. Tom Rossiter, CEO. Tom, thank you very much for hosting the webinar and updating everybody on what's happening. We'll email everybody tomorrow, just quickly, with the updated deck, also with Tom's information. So you can certainly contact us at InvestorCube, Jen or myself, at any time. If you have any questions or you'd like to discuss things further, you can also email Tom directly. He's very proactive, supportive of all advisors, investors, and potential investors. So do not hesitate to reach out. He's a wonderful CEO in that respect, that he has lots of time based on his crazy schedule, but a lot of time he does make for shareholders and investors, which we all know is a priority. So on that note, I'll say thank you very much to everybody. Thank you, Tom. We'll send everyone an email in the morning. We will look to probably do somewhat regular webinars. As most people know me on this call, we're not here to waste time. So there's no point in doing webinars unless we have something material to say. So what we will do is, as more news comes out, and I think we'll see solid news flow over the coming days, weeks, and months, and as more material developments come to fruition here, we likely will try to have pretty regular calls, get Tom in front of you guys so you can get updated, see what's happening, and get to learn more about RESAAS. So on that note, thank you again, everybody. Have a great evening, have fun, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Ciao.